What's up, everybody? We're live.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome everyone to another edition of Live on IFT. This is our 13th episode, and today we're going to be talking about automating content production. My name is Ben. I'll be your host. Your other host, as always, my colleague and best friend, Tripp. Tripp, do you have any announcements for the folks back home?
Yeah. Well, first off, thanks for joining us. I wanted to continually remind everyone that we do have a student discount. So if you're in the UK, the US, or Canada, you use your .edu email address, you get 90% off our Pro or Pro Plus plan. So go sign up or tell your college friends to go sign up for IFT and start automating their, I don't want to say homework, but their productivity with IFT. And then something else, go check out our ChatGPT tool. It's really cool. It basically turns ChatGPT into your personal assistant. So you can basically, if you want to write a blog inside of ChatGPT and then send it to your WordPress site or send it to your Webflow site, you can do that. So check it out. We're always publishing really cool tools for you guys. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you,
Wait,
Tripp.
I did want to shout out. We have a few Spanish speakers in the audience. So Gustavo, I saw your comment. This is going to be in English. You don't want to hear me speak Spanish. It's not pretty, but I could read it. So if you want to ask questions, me and Megan's maybe passable as well on Spanish. So we might be able to decipher what you're trying to ask. So if you feel free to ask questions. But this will be an English stream. And then I think after it goes live on YouTube, there's a way you can like turn on subtitles, auto captions for Spanish if you want to like watch us later. So, but yeah, let's get started.
Awesome. Well, Tripp, we have a very special guest with us today.
Mm-hmm.
She loves plants, she loves music, she loves rock climbing, and she loves volunteering. She's the growth marketing manager for IFT. That's right. She's one of our own. And she single-handedly destroyed my YouTube career with just one video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Megan Cohen, aka Megan.AI. Megan, welcome to Live on IFT.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Yeah. And I will say, everyone, that she's a real person. Every time Megan produces a new video, it's all about AI. So we've kind of like branded her as Megan.AI, but she's a real person. There's like always comments inside of every video saying, is this real? Is this person an AI avatar? But yeah.
Well, I think it's because like Tripp, when you and I do videos, like we're all like real animated, like, and Megan's just like more reserved. It's like she's like still, so like maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Like, yeah,
She's a lot more proper than we are, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we're glad to have you, Megan. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Well, really quickly, I want to go over the agenda. Excuse me. As always, we're going to talk about really briefly why we started this live stream, who this live stream is kind of designed for. We're going to, of course, get to know Megan. We are going to take questions from the audience throughout. Again, Tripp and I are always happy to answer questions. But while we have Megan here today, do try to ask your questions directly to Megan. And then Megan has a unique position of working at IFT. So Megan's going to take over after that and kind of show us some of the applets that she uses in her personal and professional life. And at the end, as always, we're going to give away one free year of IFT Pro Plus to one lucky live stream viewer. So really quickly, who we started this for and why we do this live stream. So our fastest growing user segment right now at IFT is what some people might refer to as a solopreneur or a small business owner. This could be a podcaster, YouTuber, Twitch streamer, blogger, influencer, maybe someone with a Patreon, just anyone that's in that creator economy or that's trying to make money on the internet. And our big focus in 2024 is to help these individuals build communities. And, one of the one of the ways that you build community is by creating content for your community. So that brings me to our guest, Megan. Megan, before we get into kind of some of the stuff that you do in your personal life outside of IFT, can you just start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do for IFT?
Yeah, gladly. So I have the very exciting role of growth marketing manager. And what that means is I'm really focused on driving user acquisition and engagement and retention down our marketing funnel. I'm focusing a lot on the user needs and how we can make the best experience for the user along their marketing touch points. And my day-to-day looks like campaign building, a lot of analysis, and cross-functional collaboration with our other teams.
Killer.
Awesome.
Yeah. I feel like
And
you have a very broad skill set from what I've learned just from working with you for the past year and a half. You kind of touch everything from just like content development. You're started to do a lot more YouTube videos. You're doing email marketing. So very broad.
Yeah, definitely.
let's talk a little bit about that. Tripp mentioned the YouTube. I made the joke that you ruined my YouTube career. So a little context. I've been making some how-to videos on YouTube for IF for about 3 years, and I think every now and again I get into the four figures, and Megan makes one video and it's got like 60,000 views first time. So that's why I say you ruined my career, because it's like, well, they don't need me to do this anymore. So tell us a little bit about Megan.AI and just maybe about kind of that series and what you talk about in that series for the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So IFT as a company has been pretty invested in the AI wave pretty early on. So we were lucky enough to kind of have several product features work with AI early on. And as far as large volume views, it's definitely about search traffic volume. So ChatGPT is a really popular search term right now. And having some domain authority on YouTube helps our channel kind of get that initial wave of impressions. So that's kind of the formula.
Yeah,
Totally.
definitely.
Yeah. And guys, after this video, you can kind of go to YouTube/@IFT and then just look at all of our other videos. There's a whole playlist with Ben if you want to hear Ben kind of talking about specific services on IFT and how you can automate stuff like your Instagram, your Google My Business, your Twitter. And then we've developed a new playlist called Megan.AI, and it's Megan talking about how to use ChatGPT and the top GPTs for content creators. And we're trying to add more videos around this AI space and how to use AI with IFT.
Yeah, Megan, I don't know if you realize it, but you're kind of in a way becoming a thought leader, right? For the future of AI and automation. So very cool. Let's talk a little bit about, excuse me, I keep having to clear my throat. Let's talk a little bit about your outside of IFT life. So and I'll set this up a little bit. So you do volunteer work for some women's groups, and you help them with their marketing type stuff. You also, which is what I think is really cool here, is that you actually use IFT to help them automate their content production. So just, tell us a little bit about what you do in your volunteer world.
Yeah. So our tools are obviously catered towards small, scrappy business use cases. And I think we kind of, as a marketing team, also have this little playbook that we know of ways that you can really make a huge difference as far as saving time. So I kind of thought, why can't I apply that to a business? And instead of it being I'm going to provide marketing services regularly for a year, I can help set them up with automations. They're going to enable them to run their own marketing basically, and have them set up on auto mode.
That's awesome. Yeah. And like nonprofits, I know they just don't have a lot of like excess money to spend for like a freelancer or an agency, you know? So they do, and they do wear a lot of hats internally. And they're normally smaller teams, and they're all still trying to, you know, write content for the blog, write emails. They all have social posts they need to write, you know? So that's awesome that you kind of like built the system that they can kind of work within to develop their own content.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're incredibly scrappy and like running on very few resources.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, I've taken a peek at some of your slides. I think we're going to maybe get into a little bit about some of the automations that you're helping these folks run, but just tell us a little bit about the groups, if you could. You don't have to name drop right now, but if you could maybe tell us a little bit about the groups themselves. I think be curious to know who these people are that Megan's hanging out with when she leaves work every day.
Yeah, I'm really huge proponent of both of these organizations and like aligned with their mission. So the first one is Crossroads for Women, and they are a permanent housing to kind of help women exiting incarceration to like integrate back into society well and provide all of the mental health support they may need to get back on their feet afterwards.
Killer.
Nice. The
second
and is this
one, local? Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
These
real
are
quick.
Local to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Okay, got it. Sorry, go ahead.
The second one is the Sina Thorlichen Foundation Scholarship. So they provide scholarships for women and actually just anyone who's a survivor of domestic abuse. And also like auxiliary costs associated with education, which are a lot of times a huge barrier for people really being able to follow through and getting their education.
Yeah. No, just like housing, buying books, you know, like books cost like
transportation, childcare, home internet, computers. Yeah,
that's cool. That's awesome.
Very cool. Yeah. I feel like I got to do something with my life now. Some type of volunteer work.
You're raising a young child, man. I think you're doing great.
I'm raising a child. Yep. I have an excuse. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, this is inspirational. Yeah. Let's try and carve out, 30 minutes to help set up this system for local nonprofits,
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can I don't know if there's a donation link, but maybe once this video goes live, we can put something in the comments.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So that people can, help out the causes that Megan cares about. Absolutely. Cool. Well, so I want to pick, because I know we're going to come back to that and some of those automations, but I want to pivot. One thing that this is a little bit off topic, but we're so good on time here. You have done, well, this is content creation. So you recently did a presentation for the company here about blogging and about AdSense, Google AdSense. Could you just tell us a little bit about, okay, so this is why I thought this was so interesting, because when I think of a blog, I think of like someone that is like, hey, this is my online public diary or my online public journal. Or I think that like, hey, this is my travels and this is photos of all the places. I think about like one or two use cases of what a blog is, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your just blogging experience and maybe how someone could, if someone has a niche expertise or a niche interest or something, and they want to, maybe produce content for someone in a blog, and maybe how they could make a little money off of it, right? Let's just kind of talk a little bit about that. If you
would. I built this like music blog kind of as a proof of concept. Because I wanted to use like as much IFT automation as possible. Yeah. So that kind of involved a system where anytime I like a song on Spotify, a blog post is published, which is just a really short snippet and an image. And anytime I like an album on Spotify, a longer post is generated about that. And it's automatically posted to my WordPress. And then automatically distributed to my socials.
Cool. And then like the more
Awesome.
people that view that blog post and land on that website, you have Google AdSense running and you can kind of like generate passive income with that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
what a lot of content creators are doing. They're using or placing display ads on their site.
Mhm.
And yeah, you can gain a lot of money depending on how many users you're able to get to your website. And
Yeah.
it's a hobby for a lot of people too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Very cool.
Well, I say let's just start diving into some of those automations. Daniel Croft just asked, could you share one of the most unconventional if tasks that you guys currently have running? So I don't know, maybe y'all guys think about that. I think all the if tasks that we're running are very conventional. It's like, hey, let's write blogs, let's write social posts. I do a lot, even internally at IFT. I've got like automations that help write blogs and social posts for our business, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So unconventional is an interesting, I guess, paradigm limiter, you know? So let's just think about that for a little bit.
Yeah, this is totally unbusiness related at all. But I'll tell you a funny one right now while y'all are thinking. My wife has one. We have one set up in the house here where and I don't know how it happens, but every now and again the toilet seat gets left up, and she triggers an automation with Google that will take $1 from my bank account and put it into our kids' college fund every time the toilet seat lets up. So that's
Okay,
like kind of one of the weirdest.
That's very unconventional, but I like it.
Yeah, that's one of the weirdest ones I have. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Susan.
No, right? I do
Right?
have that
Yeah.
like honey-do list. Like my wife could just say, hey, add this to Tripp's list whenever she's like in the kitchen or something, or like walking through the house. And so I'll just randomly get like more stuff. It's like, oh, WD-40 the door hinges because they're so loud, you know, or take out the trash, you know. So it's helpful though. It helps improve the communication between me and my wife, you know. So
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a digital honey-do list.
digital honey, exactly. Except for it just keeps growing. There's never a honey done, you know, celebration. So yeah, maybe I should make one of those, you know.
Yeah, you should. You should get something. You should have something that rewards you when you do something
Check
good.
those
Maybe.
off, you know.
Yeah, there you go.
Connected with the Capital app. That'd be smart.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been at it for 5 years, and I've heard some all kinds of wild things that people have set up. I had one guy one time had 50, I guess 53 or 54. How many cards are in a deck? How many cards is it? 54?
I think it was 52, but then you add a couple jokers.
You got the jokers, yeah. This guy had a Google Home applet for each card and suit, right? And he would like use his Google Home to like do card tricks. Like,
that's
yeah,
really cool.
it was kind of wacky. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
now I'm kind of getting reminded of other applet. I'm going to say this real quick, and then we can dive into the content creation stuff. I've got multiple applets that kind of work together with a Google spreadsheet, and then it like texts friends of mine on a almost rotating basis. So I suck at like keeping up with old friends. So this was like an automated way for me to just like start conversations out of the blue. And that was a really fun applet to build. And it's honestly improved a lot of my friendships.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cool. All right, let's dive into.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, let's dive into it.
You want to dive in? Megan, you can speak up later for some unconventional applets that you like.
Okay.
All right, Ben, you want to go to the next slide?
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. All right, Megan, I'm going to let you take over here.
Okay, I actually had to crop this into 2 sections because this applet has a lot of queries and actions. So the left-hand image is kind of the if and query part. So this is what I set up for Shelbra, and she is the head of this operation, and she just really knows what's going on at all points in time. And if there's ever some update that needs to be distributed to like socials or email or any of our channels, then she'll be the one that it comes from. So I set up this automation for her to send an email to IFT, and this is going to be for updates. And we then use several social queries, one prompt, which is to generate an email snippet. And then we use two kind of like more general blog and topic queries. All of this is then added to ClickUp in various lists, so that if I come in and am going to schedule some posts out for the week, I will already see these items in the social list and in the blog list. And this one at the bottom where it says append to a document, that's basically what our email newsletter starts as.
Oh, cool. So like
Okay.
as
so then you published it from there.
Yeah. So as the I guess the nonprofit leader is like thinking of ideas, she'll just send those ideas to this email, and then it will literally just go through and generate all the content that would be needing that you'll need, and then add those as tasks in ClickUp.
Yep.
That's cool. That's sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I mean, what historically that would look like is she literally like will randomly send you emails with ideas. You as like, you know, a nonprofit freelancer is like having to review your email every single day and check on if you've gotten a new like idea to build out. And then you have to go through and create social posts for each platform like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram manually. And then the whole time you're like probably project managing everything in ClickUp too. So you have to like add everything into ClickUp and then add everything to post to all these different channels, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. So it's both content generation and project management.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So when you get to the, sorry, just real quick, the tasks themselves, is it like, I imagine it's like, I'm thinking about the IFT world, right? So like, okay, we send an email to IFT when we have a new product update, right? So we use AI to kind of chop that up, break it up the way we want it to, and then we create a bunch of tasks, right? So like create one task to do a YouTube video about this new.
Oh no, we lost Ben. Let me see. Let me see if I can. All right, we're back.
Are we all?
Yeah, we lost you for a second. Okay.
You guys lost me. I thought I lost you guys.
Hey, don't worry. We're all here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I was just saying, like, it seems like you create, like, when you send this to a bunch of different places, right? Because there's a big update, right? And then you send it to a group in ClickUp that's like, hey, this is our YouTube videos where we make a video about this new product, or now this is our social media section of ClickUp to where we, create an Instagram post about this new product or whatever. So that's cool. It's like it gets it all to the right places. So yeah, like you said, content. Yeah.
Yeah, the ClickUp is separated into lists. So we have like a social media list, an email list, a blog list, and a video script list. And this will kind of put them each in their respective buckets.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, and it's like IFT generally is platform agnostic, so like you're using ClickUp as your project management tool, but if you wanted to use Trello, Asana, Notion, Google Tasks, Todoist, any of those, you could build out systems inside of those tools as well.
Yeah.
Or AccuFlow. We had AccuFlow, their CEO, on the live stream.
Yeah, shout out AccuFlow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
this is great.
Can we go on to the next one, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Crossroads.
This is kind of a different use case of our AI prompt query, but yeah, Crossroads for Women. So in this case, I was kind of working with their social coordinator and trying to come up with some quick ways to ideate and produce content. And something that they wanted to work on in 2024 was producing video content for TikTok, for Instagram Reels, and for YouTube. So she's very focused on video. So we kind of leveraged the prompt query to write a script about whatever topic it was she was going to write. And this is only one of the several applets that she was using, but this is kind of like a Ben playbook, is using the notes widget and just getting it on her phone and anyone else, honestly, that was going to be like contributing ideas for the video series. So just really quick adding little snippets and then producing a potential script from it. She can then come in, go through some of these scripts and find a good one, make it her own, and record it.
Oh, that's cool.
Megan, am I the note widget guy at IFT?
Yeah, I think
especially with the AI.
Yeah, no, it's cool because I think like sometimes when you use our AI tools with the note widget, I think sometimes it's a pretty like ChatGPT is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a pretty cool mobile replacement for what you get on ChatGPT. So yeah, I love the note widget.
There's a video. Ben made a video too about how to add ChatGPT to your phone using the note widget in IFTTT. So go check that out after this video.
Yes.
And again, note widget, if you have installed our mobile app, so we have an iPhone and Android app, you basically add the note widget and it's like a one-click, like quick way to like write things down. And you can like send that note to any, to-do list that you're looking at. In this way, it like creates AI YouTube scripts in Google Docs, so it's a very like flexible and customizable tool to like throw out quick ideas and then organize them in your project management tool.
Yeah, and I think while we're on the subject of note widgets and IFT for mobile, I do believe, and it's not set yet, but we're definitely going to do it. I just don't know if we're going to do it next Friday this time.
Yeah.
But one of these live streams, hopefully next week, we're going to have our head of mobile, Sid, is going to be joining us, and he's going to be giving everybody kind of, a demo. I don't know exactly what we're talking about, but it's going to be all things IFT on mobile.
Yeah.
And so that should be really exciting. And we can kind of show you some of the power that you get with these different, widgets on IFT.
Yeah. And what's up, Jeff? Glad for you to be back here. He asked, the ability to use IFT app actions in shortcuts on iOS is awesome. Any chance you allow the IFT app to be installed on Macs so the same shortcuts will work on Macs? And I'm like 80% this is possible, but Sid has been working on like adding the IFT widget on Macs for I think it's Sonoma, if you've like installed Sonoma personally. But check again next week. We might answer this question and it might be possible. So thanks, Jeff, for asking it. It's very relevant. Try again next week.
Wait, so real quick. So Jeff is a good friend of the program.
Yeah.
Jeff helps us. So here's a real quick story. After we did our first couple live streams, Jeff sends us an email. He's a big fan of IFT, and he's been using IFT for many, many years. Jeff sends us an email and basically tells us that our sound is awful and that he wants to help us fix it. Yeah. And I remember telling Tripp, Tripp, this guy's going to try to sell us on something, but let's meet with him anyway because his email just destroyed us. Yeah. And he spent like a good hour with us telling us about like how we could fix our sound. Yeah. And now we sound so much better.
Now we sound better.
Genuinely wanted to help us.
Thanks to Jeff Cohen. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that I just realized is that Jeff and Megan, y'all aren't related, are you? There's no relation there? Okay. Right? This is the same last name, right? Am I crazy? Yeah.
You're correct.
Jeff Cohen, Megan Cohen? Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
Well, let's get back to it. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, if anybody has any questions around content creation, please throw them in the chat. We're happy to answer them. Oh yeah, so talk about these.
Yeah. I added a couple of slides about my music blog use cases.
Okay.
This one's about email and how I automate the newsletter. So anytime a new WordPress blog is published, it kind of turns it into a weekly digest for the newsletter. And the Twitter follow to MailChimp subscriber is also one that's related to email. And then the middle photo, this is pretty common, like add-on for WordPress, is to just have this like MailChimp sign up block inside of your site, and it automatically ports it into MailChimp.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
Wait, so Twitter follow to MailChimp sub. So if someone follows your music blog's Twitter, then it will. How does that like
It'll
add
add
them
to her newsletter, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wait, that's really cool. That's a great use case right there. And then like as you're producing content automatically on WordPress, once a week you're going to get an email digest with all that content, and then you can like take that email digest and restructure it for your weekly newsletter.
Yeah, exactly.
God, this is amazing. Is anyone else
I think
mind
it's
blown?
a great way if you've got, you're I don't know, you're out there, if you've got a presence on Twitter, you've got a presence on YouTube, you've got a presence, I don't know, on your Webflow website. Like you've got a presence, you've got leads coming from, you don't have to call them leads, but we'll just, for the sake of the argument, call them leads. You got leads coming from all these different places, and kind of having an automation that, because you can't reply to every comment, you can't check all these different things every single day, right? So having a way to, and I know Megan doesn't call these leads, but having a way to bring your leads and get them all in the same place on MailChimp so that you can, follow up with them on your monthly or weekly newsletter. It's a really powerful thing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and like the more people that land on your website, either from organic search or from clicking an email, it's like better for you long term because it is more visibility and you can sell more ad space on Google AdSense, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Real quick, let me see. Joel Deering asks, do all email programs work with IFTTT? And so Gmail is one of our like most used services. You can do a lot of stuff with Gmail on IFTTT. And then we have some custom, like the email digest tool we just showed about, what kind of can pull a lot of different content into a specific email and then send you that email like once a day, once a week. What other email tools work with IFTTT?
Yeah, I think so. I think Gmail is the main one.
Constant contact.
Constant contact. Yep.
Yeah, we
so
do have
like for
MailChimp, Constant Contact.
Yeah, MailChimp, Constant for like
Aweber.
Aweber for like content for newsletter. I guess I think of MailChimp as like a newsletter service. It's not just a newsletter service, but
like AOL Mail we don't have on IFTTT.
No.
Yahoo Mail we don't have on IFTTT, but yeah, I'd say Gmail is probably the biggest one, but you can kind of do some custom cool stuff with our email service. And then
the email service that Megan showed in the first applet, where the person sends an email to IFTTT and then that starts off the chain. That kind of works for anyone, right? So it doesn't matter what email service you have for that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Killer. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's get back to this next applet here.
Yeah, this is where the content production happens. Create an image blog post from my saved Spotify songs.
Yep.
So that's kind of an example of what it looks like. I created this little series called The Daily Spice, and it's really short. It's mostly an image and then like a snippet about the track.
Well, that's
Oh,
sweet.
very cool. You know, I have a friend that does this on he'll take a screenshot of his Spotify and then he'll share it on Snapchat.
Oh,
And
cool.
I just need to tell him that he can do it like this every day. Yeah.
Right? No, yeah, that's awesome. But this is like you've automated content production for your WordPress site. One, so you're probably producing at least a blog a day, and then you've kind of automated the distribution of that content too. Like it automatically sends on your social channels. It automatically can kind of get pulled together for an email newsletter, so that whenever you're ready to write that, you can just like copy and paste and send that email newsletter, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
How many hours a week do you think this whole system has saved you?
Maybe up to 20.
Okay.
Totally. You know, it's interesting that you asked that question, Tripp, because we always talk about, I think, like, you know, and it's in our marketing world, right? Where it's like time saved. We're always talking about time saved. Like, I think that, like, at some point you can't save time if it's something that you couldn't accomplish in a 24-hour period anyway, right? Like I just think you're able to do more, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like at some point it's like, oh, I'm saving myself time, but in some
You're
of
like
Megan's
multiplying
cases, like, she
your
saved
efforts.
an employee.
Yeah,
She
totally.
saved having to pay an employee, right? Like, so it's, yeah, I think when we say time saved, it's just kind of something that's bugged me for a while. When we say saved, time saved, sorry, that was a tongue twister.
Yeah.
We're almost like, we're not painting the whole picture, is that you can just do more, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
It's like you have
this
more arms.
This enables me to do kind of like a little side hustle that I wouldn't do otherwise, because I'm not going to spend 20 hours outside of my
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you want to
it's
have
not
your
something
nights
that
and
you are
weekends.
capable. It's not something that you were capable of doing manually in the first place, right? So there's no time saved, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and let's bring it even back to the nonprofits. It's like nonprofits, as a business, you can't like carry a profit, right? So you're literally like running through your entire budget every single year. And most of the time, if you're not like grant funded, you're relying on donations, which could fluctuate year after year, you know? So there's not a lot of consistency to like hire full-time people. And from what I understand, I've never worked inside the nonprofit world, but there's just, the budgets are so small that it's really tough to, hire people with a lot of salary in those worlds. But they're basically, instead of like hiring more like a freelancer or an intern, they're able to kind of like automate a lot of the process that helps them get the exact same job done. So like writing emails, writing blog content for their, WordPress or Webflow blog, writing social posts for Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. It's like all this stuff kind of needs to happen to like function as a nonprofit. You have to kind of build that community online. And they're able to save a lot of money by using IFT to kind of automate a lot of that process. That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, before we go to the next applet, Megan, I don't know if this is the last one. Maybe there's another one. But before we go to the next slide, this is a music blog. You're a big lover of music. Tell us what you're listening to today. Tell us what your favorite song, favorite album right now is before we go on to the next one.
So one of my favorite artists, James Blake, just produced this like kind of like sleep trance series with Endel, which is an app that focuses on like science-backed soundscapes for like different functionalities. And it's kind of like this extended play of a couple of his tracks into this really long, dreamy series. And I think it's awesome.
Is it like a calm app? Uh-oh, we lost Megan.
Oh, she's coming right back.
Okay,
hey, we're back.
Is it like a mental health app, kind of?
Kind of like
I'm way off.
Some for focus, some for sleep, some for relaxation. Yeah. So it's kind of just like to help you get in the zone of whatever task you happen to be doing.
Do some deep work.
Gotcha.
That's awesome.
Perfect. Well,
I have a couple questions that I'm going to throw on here. So Reed from Reed Kane Online Publications. He's selling multiple products online. Is it possible to auto find the product on Amazon, make a 5 to 10 second video of their product page with price, then auto post to my WordPress web page and social? If y'all, right now, I'm not sure if this is super possible. Like, we don't have a good like video capture tool on IFT yet.
Yeah, I think parts of this are possible with IFT today.
Yep.
I think you'd have to do a little bit of manual work on some of this, and we've seen a lot of people do very similar, maybe not with the same services that you're using, but we've seen very similar automation set up where someone, they post one of the ones we heard on our first live stream was someone will post something on their Shopify store, and they'll use an RSS feed to then take that new product that they just launched and post it on their website and send that to their different social medias to let people know, hey, there's new merchandise, come and purchase it. Not quite exactly what you're asking here, but I love the idea, and I think a lot of these tools, like, this is kind of where we're trying to go. Like, this is the steps we're trying to take at IFT, and the products we're trying to launch to help people do things exactly like this. So thank you for the question, Reed.
And we didn't like walk through this specifically, but we're on our call with the CEO of Newlink. He was saying that there's some of their users are using IFT if they'll like take video content and then add that to a specific Google Drive. And once it's added to Google Drive, it's like then uploaded into Newlink across like all these different channels. So like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Twitter, Facebook, and the draft of the AI like social posts are there. And then all they have to do is like schedule it out in Newlink. So taking the videos content creation isn't automated, but like the distribution across all those social channels can be automated. So
I also know that if you're like a ChatGPT Plus user, there's a GPT that generates videos, and it's actually pretty good. So if you kind of found a way to like scrape the information that you needed to feed it in, you could manually paste that in to produce the videos.
Oh yeah, totally. And then like once the videos are produced, can you just use the IFTTT app to like add it to your WordPress blog?
Yeah, you could.
Killer. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Go check out Megan.AI. There's
a playlist
all this great content is there.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to go. Do we have one more? Yes, we have one more. I think this is the last one, Megan. You can tell me, but one more applet here.
Oh, yeah. This is for social distribution of content, and Twitter and Discord are kind of my main distribution channels. So we're using the AI social creator to mock up a unique post for these respective platforms and post it in both of them. And also this fun thanks for following me to new followers on Twitter.
Aw, killer.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. So wait. The top right, share my latest music blog to social. Whenever you publish a blog on social, it like will share it on Twitter, right? And like write a tweet for it.
Yeah, any new WordPress blog will have some social copy generated from it based on it.
That's cool. That uses the AI as well to send the post. Cool.
Yeah. Well, this is awesome. And like automatically, responds to new followers and like says thanks. And that will inherently generate engagement and show up on other people's Twitter streams, Yeah. Well, cool. So I've got a couple other questions. Let me bring up Video Caboose. Megan, how can I get more information about the video creation app you were referring to in ChatGPT?
Yeah, you're going to go to like the GPT store and search video. I think it's called InVideo.
InVideo. Yeah. Megan covers that in her Megan.AI YouTube video of like top GPTs for content creation. So after this video, you can kind of just go onto our YouTube channel and then go find that video and watch it. It's pretty sweet. Like she just like prompts ChatGPT really quick and then it like makes a minute-long video for her. And it looks great. Cool.
Thank you, Video Caboose. Yeah.
John Carbuccia. Can I use this with a Wix website? I think Wix is one of the only websites that aren't on IFT right now.
I thought we had Wix on IFT.
Right?
Let's
do a quick search.
We should know this.
I know. Wix. Well, there's over 900 tools and services on IFT.
No, we don't have Wix.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Wiz. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, and sorry, John, you should send a support ticket to Wix and tell them to build on IFT. Join everybody else.
Yes.
You know, we love them. We'd love to have them on Wix, on IFT. So, Jeremy Pinix, we noticed Megan.AI bounces. I think if you're on that domain, it like asks like 20 grand to buy that domain. I don't think we're going to buy that.
So we don't own the domain.
We don't own the domain. But, you know, it was funny because someone mentioned that and I was like, oh, we should all pitch together. Because I've purchased I purchased the domain for my son's name.com. And I don't know why I did that, but
hey, dude,
thought it would be a novelty, fun thing to do. And so it seems like there's a bob.com that lives, it's been purchased by what is the GoDaddy.com, and I think what they've done is they've just basically bought, or they've created every single like firstname.ai, and now they're selling them, they're price gouging people for like 20 grand. So I was like, we could all pitch in and buy this for Megan for her birthday, thinking it'd be like $50 or something like that.
Yeah, no.
They wanted 20 grand. I was like, nope. Sorry, Megan.
So, but no, so where you can find those videos are on our YouTube. So go youtube.com/@IFT. You're already here. Just click our brand name after this video and then look for the playlist Megan.AI. So she's covered a few AI tools on there. And then hopefully over the next few months, we're going to be covering a lot more. So real excited about that. Let me see. Michael Wenzel, what kind of options/systems are in place for protection of secrets used in integrations? So the cool thing about IFT is you authorize a service. So like ClickUp, Notion, Gmail, all the authorization does is allows for data to be passed from one tool to the next, but IFT can't read any of the data inside those tools. Does that make sense? So like we can't read your Gmail content, you know, or any content you have in ClickUp. That's where all the protection exists. Is we only can share the data from one platform to the next. We can't read all the data inside of it. Hope that answered your question, Michael.
I know that we take security very seriously here at IFT. I don't have I don't know how to explain to you what we do in a technical sense that would make any kind of sense, but I do know that we take our and we've never had any issues as long as I've been at IFT with any type of security. So
yeah,
there's always some bad actors out there, but we do a pretty good job of putting those to sleep when we find them.
So Family Tree Sagas asks, any suggestions for automating Pinterest? I have an image-heavy genealogy AI blog. It's a passion project that I'd like to automate. Megan.
We had Pinterest on the platform, and as I said again, there's always bad actors, and we had people that were automating Pinterest on IFT and in a very spammy way. And, I think that just kind of a few bad actors ruined it for everyone. So unfortunately, Pinterest is no longer on IFT, but it was such an awesome service on it for so many years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're able to do that.
I have another just general question. Ed, is there a good video on creating and using queries in IFT? I know there's a video on like how to use the filter code
Yes.
editor. A lot of the videos that Ben had been creating like uses specific queries like for specific services.
So any of the AI videos it'll walk through how to use. So if you just go to the YouTube channel on IFT, any of the AI videos, we should walk you through how to use the AI services, which are all query services.
Yeah.
And that should give you a pretty good idea of how you could set something up with the query.
Yeah, totally.
We should have more content out there. We were all talking about this yesterday about how queries are.
Can kind of get complicated.
It's a little complicated. Yeah, they're a little daunting.
Mm-hmm.
At first. So maybe we should just consider some more. We should just have a video called queries and
totally
maybe like explain what they are a little bit better.
Adding that to the list for sure.
Yep. Add that to the click up.
Yep. But I think like in a quick way to kind of represent queries, how IFT works is if this, then that, right? Queries are that one step in between. So you always kind of want to think like, what other data can I add to that, the end like product, from any of the other 900 tools on IFT, plus all these AI tools. So is there a way to like beef up my very simple if this, then that with queries? And that's what queries are used for. So do we have any other questions? Throw them in the chat.
We do have one more applet of Megan's to cover.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right.
Oh.
Pitchfork.
Yeah, this one is more for me personally than for posting content, but Pitchfork puts out a lot of great blogs that I would love to read, but don't have time to. So I kind of get my own little digest when I go into ClickUp and kind of like can spark ideas or places to start.
Oh, very cool. And Pitchfork's a music blog?
Yes.
And you're using the RSS feed from that blog to see it. It looks like to summarize it and to send what is this? 2 AI tools. One's summarize, the other one's to create content for it.
Yep.
Basically. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool.
Cool.
Oh, I
see a task on that. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, Pitchfork. And I'm into some music, but I feel like Pitchfork's like the best online music blog out there, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of their stuff is pretty high quality.
Yeah, totally. And they can dive really deep into like niche subgenres of music. You know, like they've got a good sized team that can kind of like cover this very broad like world of art, you know? So that's cool. And they're not. So we have a lot of news tools on IFT that you can just one click summarize and like get pulled, like, you know, get an email for like new articles on BBC or Fox News or CNN. They're all on IFT. Pitchfork's not, but we have a really good RSS feed tool that you can kind of expand and use that to pull in all that data from Pitchfork and then summarize it and add it to ClickUp. So that's great. That's cool.
Yeah, RSS feeds. I always feel like people are like, oh yeah, no one uses RSS feeds anymore. Yes, they do.
Yeah, dude.
They do. And
RSS is one of the biggest services on IFT. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. All right. So I think that was our last applet. So this is the time where we give away a free year of IFT Pro Plus. Tripp, can we maybe find someone in the chat that we didn't pull up today? Maybe someone that just had a funny comment or something.
Yeah, I mean, we pulled up a lot of people. What about the guy that asked us the most unconventional applet at the start?
Yes, that's a great one because he can have a year of IFT Pro Plus and he can create some unconventional applets.
I love it.
And then he can come on and be a guest and tell us about all of his crazy applets.
That's great. So his name's Daniel Croft. Congrats, Daniel. You've got a year of Pro Plus. Just email us at marketing@IFT, letting us know what your username is, and we'll upgrade you.
Yeah, if you email us, Daniel, with the email that you use for IFT, we do ask that you go and create a free account if you don't already have one. Assuming you might, but if you would just go ahead and email us with that account, or if you're not emailing us with that account, just add that email address in there so we can quickly find you and get you a credit for a year of Pro Plus.
Cool. Wait, and I will say this is a new question he asked that we haven't answered. Megan, do you want to try and answer this one? So, curious if you auto publish your automated posts or do any editing. Thinking Spotify album automation might post incorrect information.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So for the album ones, it's good to have like a contingency in place because sometimes you get like a really, really wacky result, especially if it's like a new album. If it's something that's like been out in the world for a while, it's usually a pretty solid piece of content. If it's just released recently, then it's probably doesn't have any information in existence to pull from. Yeah,
totally. That's cool. Well, yeah. So Daniel, that's why a lot of the applets she was using they basically add all this content as tasks in ClickUp in like a project management tool. And then from there, she can, edit and then like manually kind of publish to Twitter, send it in an email, add to her blog, So that was a good question though.
Yeah. For anything that you're like generating content and then auto posting it, you want to like go through a few times and see what it's producing to make sure that like you're comfortable with it. And that, like you said, it's also good for shorter pieces.
Yep.
Yeah. I think having the final edit on things is a great way. Like, AI can do so much for you, but I do think it's nice to have the final edit before you post it, if you can.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And just while we're here, I mean, we're starting to get a lot more questions popping in. Labrie28 asks, what's the difference between Pro and Pro Plus? If you head to our plans page, you can kind of see the difference there. I would say Pro, honestly, is more curated for smart home users. We have a lot of smart home users on IFT, and you have a max of like 20 applets right there. And it's a little bit more simple. So you do a lot of like, if someone rings my doorbell, turn on my, lights or front lights, And then Pro Plus is more curated for people using IFT for business. So like freelancers, solopreneurs, small businesses, content creators. You have an unlimited applets with Pro Plus, and then you also get access to all of our filters and queries and AI stuff. So it's a whole lot more robust. Cool.
Yeah, I think it's with Pro Plus, it's Pro and Pro Plus. It's like 20 applets versus unlimited applets. I think gated for the Pro Plus is the AI services. Being able to connect to multiple accounts. So for Megan, for example, Megan manages Megan might manage a Facebook and a Twitter account for, this nonprofit. And then she might, do a Facebook and Twitter account for this nonprofit. And then she, of course, has the one for IFT, and then she has the one for herself. So, she would need IFT Pro Plus to be able to, add all of those accounts into one single IFT account. So, those are kind of the basic, I guess the basic or the most common reasons why someone would need to upgrade from Pro to Pro Plus.
Cool. All right. Well, Thanks guys. This has been great.
Yeah. Thank you all so much. Megan, thanks for joining us. You were a rock star today.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes maybe we should just have 3 hosts,
right?
Just have you join us more often.
No, this is awesome.
Right?
Yeah, thanks for having me. That's fun.
Yeah. Keep a lookout for more Megan.AI videos on our YouTube channel. And then, come back next week where we dive in with another coworker, Sid, and talk about widgets on IFT.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Adios.